So I am Charlie Garforth. I am a coach. I run Pro Physiques, and Pro Physiques, yeah, I started off competing with Pure Elite back in 2015 at this very show, and did really well. Won a couple of categories, and I've been coming back every year. In fact, most shows through Manchester, British Championships, World Championships, I've been coming back, and most of the time my clients do pretty well, so I'm very proud of them.
And how many clients have you got in today's competition?
So I had 5 clients in the amateur show, and I've got 3 in the pro show.
And how did they do?
They did amazingly. I think we got, I tell you like, it was 6 clients in the amateur show, and we had 11 trophies. A combination of first places, second places, third places, and pro cards.
You're going to need a separate vehicle to bring all those trophies back.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't get to keep the trophies, but maybe. But yeah, they've done amazingly well. Super proud of them.
And has there been any sort of particular struggles? Obviously, we've had COVID last year. Has there been any struggles any of your clients have had?
They've all done amazingly well. I think anyone who competes in this time should be extra proud of themselves. You know, they've created a legacy for years to come. People talk about what they did through lockdowns and through COVID, and most of them managed to improve their physique, do preps, training in their garage with resistance bands and light weights, and they've managed to, you know, come out of lockdowns and do shows like this and do amazingly well and bring physiques which you would never know what they've been through. So I think they can be really, really proud. So yeah, they've been struggles, but they've all overcome them.
Yeah. And without giving too much away, what would you say is your winning formula, as it were?
Passion, I would like to think. I genuinely care about every single one of my clients. I give them the same amount of effort to every single one of them, no matter what level they're at. I've had complete beginners come to the stage, compete for the first time, win categories, go over to the pro show, win pro shows, that sort of thing. And I've taken on people who are world champions who want to do pro shows and win overalls. And every single one of them gets the same amount of attention. And I think people recognise that, because for me it's about the transformation from, you know, from beginner to competing, or from one competition to another. And I always want to make sure I bring the best out of people. And I think people notice that, and they recognise that I'm at the shows, I'm passionate, I care about people.
Is there any advice that you can give to newcomers that are thinking of competing?
Absolutely. First of all, get the correct guidance. So, you know, either get a coach, posing coach, that sort of thing. Come and watch a show. Make sure you understand the show. Make sure you know the difference between a model federation and a bodybuilding style federation. There is differences. Just surround yourself with as much guidance as you can, because there is an easy way to do things, and there's a hard way to do things.
I think everybody also wants to know, are we going to see you back up on stage one day?
Maybe. I love competing. I'm quite lucky I get to come to shows, experience the day without having to diet and get on stage. But I absolutely love it. I think about it all the time. I train with a level of intensity that I'm always thinking about shows and where I would fit. But I haven't got anything planned at the moment.
2022, 2023 maybe?
You never rule it out. Maybe.
You heard it here first. It's a maybe.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add, or any social handles that you want anyone to follow, whether it's personal or business?
People are welcome to follow me on Charlie Garforth on Instagram, or pro.physiques on Instagram. Check out my stuff, and yeah, if anyone wants to reach out, then I'd love them to.
And for anyone that's thinking, well, for Pure Elite, is there any particular reason that you chose it for your clients?
It's just because I've got a history with Pure Elite, and I absolutely loved competing with Pure Elite. From the very first time I came, I remember it was a packed show, really, really high standards. And from that very, very first time I walked in the door, Janine came over and she hugged every single person as they arrived, whether she knew them or not, and you know, which I didn't. And I just felt welcome straight away. It was a really family feel, but a high standard athlete, and I thought, you know, this is a federation I want to build alliances with. And I've come back repeatedly. Because I come so often, I really understand the judging, and it's very consistent with the judging. So I can tend to predict who's going to win, because, you know, some federations you'll go and you'll see one shape of bikini athlete win one competition, and the next competition it's a different shape. It makes it very confusing as a coach, whereas I can predict the criteria of what they're looking for. So it's good for me as a coach, good for our clients, and it's really friendly.
So consistency throughout the categories, basically. There's no variation. You know exactly what they're being marked on, and you can train your clients accordingly.
Absolutely, which means that they don't get disappointments, or not often anyway.
Yeah. Thank you very much. If there's anything else you'd like to add, let us know.
No, I'm more than happy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. See you soon. Make sure you come back with your winners.
I will. you.